Okay, we're live. Hello, it's Bill the Knee Pain Guru and Dr. Charlie Beck with the Ask
morning,
Dr. Beck.
everyone.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning, Charlie?
I'm hanging in there. I have a wonderful puppy sitting right next to me on the couch.
Nice. Well, I just got back in from feeding the chickens and the rabbits.
I just got back in myself from doing the same thing.
Cool. Okay. Well, we'll dig in. We got some questions here.
Awesome.
And for those that are watching the live stream or the replay, if you have questions you'd like to submit to Dr. Beck, you can type those in the comments section or the live chat. If there's anybody that you know that could benefit from this information, feel free to tag them in the video as well. We can address their question on the next call or the next episode. Okay. We have a question here from Melissa. And we touched on part of this. This was an expansion of a question that she submitted last week on colonoscopies.
Okay.
And she has another question here. I hope this next question isn't too strange, but here it goes. On first waking in the morning, I have an almost uncontrollable urge to stretch, even though it hurts in my lower back with each movement. This urge starts in my belly and then spreads out to my extremities. I'm wondering what is happening there, especially because I can't seem to stop it. I know I've been hardly moving when asleep, and it makes sense to stretch next, but it almost feels like my body is reestablishing my usual tension patterns that have been relaxing all night. Because of that and the pain associated with it, is there any value in making some effort to not stretch? I have had little success with that so far. Thank you so much for offering your time and expertise. I have gotten a lot of benefit from your conversations with Bill.
Okay. So if I parse out what I heard, no back pain upon sleeping. Upon
Correct.
waking, everything feels tight. The center of the tightness is around the lumbar spine, the low back. And what gets the feeling of relief is to stretch. And as she stretches, she feels like it's a fascial pattern that's coming throughout her body.
I don't know if it's the relief from stretching as much as there's the urge to stretch. It starts in the belly.
Okay. And I'm going to assume that the belly means that it's that area of the back and not actually the belly.
Let's see. Let me look at this again. The urge on first waking, I have an almost uncontrollable urge to stretch, even though it hurts in my lower back with each movement. This urge starts in my belly and then spreads out to the extremities. Hardly moving when she's asleep, it makes sense to stretch, but it almost feels like my body is reestablishing my usual tension patterns that have been relaxing all night. So it seems like it's this urge that starts in her belly and she starts to stretch. But as she's stretching, the lower back is hurting.
Okay. So the reason I'm trying to break it down is in my head, I'm trying to understand which system we're talking about. Is it the organ system of the body? Or is it the bony structure of the body? The two are obviously interrelated and connected, but which one this urge is coming from will give us kind of how we approach it.
Got it.
So let me cut to the chase and say you probably should go find a good osteopath. Yeah, that's the simple answer.
Okay. One moment, please. Continue to write. Hello, Dr. Beck. I want to see about having a consultation with you. I'm from California, so I need to see if I can work something out sometime in May. Please let me know the best way to reach you. So,
yes, I do have.
It was a setup. It was a setup.
Yes. The office number 317-228-9270.
317
228 9270.
270. I will post that in the chat.
Perfect. Okay, now let's start with organ origin first. So what we've got is there's something going on in the organs. Hang on a second here. Okay, there's something going on in the organs, and the pardon me, the organs themselves then give feedback to the body, and whatever's going on in the organs is causing the musculoskeletal pain. So we call that viscero, meaning organs, somatic, meaning the musculoskeletal system. So it's a viscerosomatic pattern. Now, what's going on in the organs could be contractions of the fascia from trauma. Trauma could be something as simple as surgery, or an infection that somebody didn't find, okay? Or a physical blow, getting punched in the stomach, for example. So all of those are possibilities to tighten the fascia in the belly. And then from the fascia in the belly, you get the pain coming back to the musculoskeletal system. Mm-hmm. So that would be then the answer to how to fix that, finding someone who is trained in how to work with the belly, the organs themselves, and then getting those organs treated and seeing if that resolves the problem. Okay, so that's option number one. Organs are the main driving force. Option number two, spine is the main driving force. This brings us back to tensegrity and the idea that in a tensegrity system that is working, you have a self-supporting structure, meaning that the vertebrae have space between themselves. They're not feeling pulled together. If your tensegrity system is not working correctly, then the vertebra can be, trying to think of the right word. Compressed is the word that my brain goes to, but that's not exactly what's going on. The vertebra can be fascially pulled together. Okay. And so there's a little bit more tension and a little bit less motion than normal. Now, obviously, there's a center for that. And in this case, if the center is around that lumbar spine region, then the lumbar spine can be tighter and less mobile. And the body can feel like it wants movement to help get more motion where that fascia is restricted. Okay. That then can go, we call it a somatovisceral response, where the spine itself is then driving what's going on in the viscera, in the organs.
Okay. But are we?
Yeah, I mean, again, a treatment is what we're looking for there. Okay. Somebody, because if, in this case, if the person asking the question were able to figure out where the origin was, like if you could look inside your body and go, oh, it's here, you could do something about it. Right. So this is something where it's very likely that you need external eyes and hands to be able to work with your body, figure out where it's moving, where it's not, and then to be able to help your body start to move better in that location and see if it resolves your symptoms. Got it.
So going from previous episodes, we were looking at the sequencing process of figuring out is the major restriction from an organ perspective, visceral perspective, or musculoskeletal perspective.
Correct. And there are more possibilities, but those are the main two based upon the question.
Sure. Okay. Great. Those were the questions that came in for today.
Perfect.
there were those. Let me do a little. We got to do a promo thing.
Okay.
Hold on a second. We're going to do it right now.
Our mission at the Comella Foundation is to relieve pain naturally using osteopathic healing principles. The Comella Foundation is recognized as a nonprofit 501c3 under the Internal Revenue Code. Your contributions are greatly appreciated. Please consider taking a moment and donating to the Comella Foundation to help us continue our important pain relieving work. Every little bit helps.
Okay, I was trying to hide the something's not working on the thing. Okay, we're good. The comment along the bottom,
Yeah.
I could hide it, bring it up, show it, hide it. It wasn't hiding when that was playing. So there we go. The operator error.
Yep.
So that is what we got for today. We got some cool stuff going on in the background. We're going to be offering those PEMF multi-wave oscillator and plasma ball machines appointments here at the foundation in the Asheville area.
Cool.
We should be starting that here shortly. So you can check that out. Anything new and exciting? You were working on your new facility there on the homestead. How's that coming along?
Drywall's in, paint is up, doors are hung, floor starts tomorrow.
Do you have windows yet?
No, windows aren't in until January the 20th. At least that's what they tell us. Only 3 months late.
Details.
Exactly. I did learn something new yesterday. My brain's still trying to wrap around it.
Okay.
So in the new office, I'm thinking about how to decorate it.
Yeah.
And wind up on the web looking for statues. And I'm thinking, oh, something like the Venus de Milo, because we've got a big kind of atrium. Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Well, couldn't find anything in the size that I was looking for. So I wound up looking at statues that are about between 10 and 12 inches tall that are made out of pewter or resin or something like that of the various Greek gods. And I'm just, looking, whatever. And so I wound up getting one of Asclepius, who's the god of medicine, and Demeter, who is the goddess of the harvest.
Mm-hmm.
So Demeter shows up yesterday. I take Demeter out of the box and have this kind of Harry Potter moment where literally the energy of the whole house and the whole property changed. And I'm like, oh, no, that can't be me. Put it back in the box. Energy goes away. Take it out. Oh, my goodness. The energy of the property changed.
Wow.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. So Demeter's sitting in the house now, but one of the things that we hope to do with the new practice is to be able to offer to the folks that come in the benefits of our land. So chicken eggs and produce and whatever else is going on. And it was really neat to feel that change.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's interesting the parallel paths that we're on. I like shocking.
Okay.
Without even talking as much as we do.
Right.
This is about it. And it, yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Tinctures, salves, eggs, herbs, stuff that's grown near teas.
Yes.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. I think that's as a direction as a society, that's where we're going, which is kind of back to the doctor that had the black bag. It showed up at your house kind of deal where it was more personalized than it is this conveyor belt of moving people through.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I'm going to send you pictures of some things along the lines of what you were just sharing, and you let me know where if they need to be with you.
Cool.
because we were trying to figure out where they go. Which
Oh,
they're
excellent.
about the same size you were talking about.
Okay. Wonderful.
Anyhow, okay. That was cool. No, that's pretty wild. There's something to be said about what was the you connected me with the gentleman out of, was it New Jersey, somewhere up the East Coast.
Yep.
And there's been he was looking at the deep underground water pathways and how that was radiating up from deep in the ground, and it was affecting the physical structure here. How the flow of things were through the home, and it's been like things have been moving faster and faster. It's been pretty cool. Just
That's
to
cool.
kind of watch.
That's cool.
And the interesting piece is that it's not like this flipping a switch and everything's different. It's more like this gradual kind of like big drum turning faster and faster and faster.
Yep. It's like opening a dam.
Yes.
Water starts to flow and you don't notice much change, and a week later it's like, oh my goodness, this is huge.
Yeah. So that momentum has been gaining here. I'm just noticing on the property, in the house and all that, it's been like this pretty phenomenal thing. Oh, probably tell you offline.
Do you want to take a moment and talk about what Robert did for those who may not be familiar with geopathic stress and all that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so our bodies are sensitive to weak electromagnetic currents. And so background here, whenever electrons flow, there is a magnetic field that is created by that flow of electrons that follows the right hand rule. Thus, if you use your right hand, point your thumb in the direction the electrons are flowing, the magnetic field comes off in the direction your fingers are going. Okay, and whatever. That's college many years ago. But your body is sensitive to that weak electromagnetic field. And so you get that from water that flows underground. So think underground stream. As the water flows by rocks, it peels off electrons. And that's erosion. That's basically it. As those electrons start to move, you get a weak electrical field, which generates a weak magnetic field. Same thing happens if you live in an area of the country where there have been mountains, and you get one type of rock on top of a mountain. It falls down, sits on top of another type of rock on the bottom of the mountain, and those two rocks, as they meet, form a galvanic current. So a weak electrical current generating a weak magnetic field. There are other ways that this can happen, but to cut to the chase, as kids, you don't want to sleep on a weak electromagnetic field. So if mom and dad put the crib in over a weak electromagnetic field, think underground water, you fuss and fight and scream and do all these things. And if you can get away in the confines of the crib, you play on one side, you sleep on one side. Cows will graze over that weak electromagnetic field, but will not sleep there. Dogs are not drawn toward these electromagnetic fields, but cats are. So are ants. So if you have an ant problem in your house, it's very likely that you have an electromagnetic field going through your house. If the cat always sleeps on the bed on top of you, it's very likely you're sleeping in something that is not very healthy for you. And as adults, for whatever reason, our bodies just, they're still aware of it, but we just chalk it up to something else. Mm-hmm. And so in research that's been done, and recognize that in the United States, you probably have never heard of geopathic stress. You may have heard of dowsing or water witchers, people who can take dowsing rods or a pendulum and find underground water and tell you where to dig a well. Those have been around for a long time. But the same phenomenon still exists underground and in many of our houses. So with the research that's been done, up to 95% of all cancers start because there's geopathic stress affecting this person either at their home or their workplace. Now, I've known about this for years. Probably nearly 20 years ago, I'm in New Zealand getting treated by a guy by the name of Farmer Phil, who literally comes in from the sheep, takes off his boots, puts you on the couch, treats you. I'm talking to his wife, Pam. We're 9,000 miles away from Indiana. And she says, tell me about your house. She said, draw me a picture. She brings out her dowsing rod and she said, oh, you have underground water going underneath your bedroom. You need to fix that. Here's how.
Wow.
My mind was blown because we're 9,000 miles away from Indiana, right? And so that's what got me started, and I've been dabbling in it. When we moved into our new property, thought I did a decent job of checking. Apparently I didn't. Wound up reading another book by a gentleman by the name of Robert Egby, E-G-B-Y, and robert-egby.com is his website. And so I connected with him and I said, hey, would you mind checking my property? And we just hit it off. He's a great guy, good, easy to converse with. And so he said, oh yeah, here's what's going on. And there was literally a line running through the bedroom. And so asked Robert to correct it. And he's got a correction that he came up with that seems to work better than anything that I was taught. And so when he corrected the energy of the property, it's funny, it feels like a cool breeze just went through. And all of a sudden, sleep improves. And the health conditions that my wife and I had been struggling with start to resolve. And you're right, it's not like a light switch. It didn't happen overnight, but I still feel the changes going on. And the property gets better and better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's geopathic stress. There's all kinds of invisible forces. Juma. And those invisible forces, basically what they do is they tax the body. They deplete the immune system. And so they make it easier for us to get sick. Mm-hmm. So correcting them is one of the steps you can take toward feeling better.
Yeah, no, I'll just attest to it. It's been a couple of weeks now, and things have just been moving along much easier.
Cool.
So awesome. I'm glad you took a moment to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're at 20, almost 25 minutes. Let's wrap it for today. Anything else just to wrap it up? But I think we're pretty good.
Happy New Year.
Oh, that's right. Happy 2022. Excellent. Okay. Well, Charlie, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Bill.
Very much. This is Bill Paravano, the Knee Pain Guru, on behalf of the Comella Foundation, the Ask Dr. Beck Show. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you next week.
Take care, everyone.